Hey everybody, I was out here working on some shells, and I was thinking back over some hunts and stuff, and I was thinking back about a hog hunt that I went on with my friend Joe, and we had gotten down, we hunted down out of Port Lavaca, Seadrift, all down there on the coast, and my friend and I owned some dogs down there, and he kept them at his place, and so we used these dogs to catch these hogs with, and run in with a knife and stab the hog. That was the big thing back then. But anyway, my friend and I had went down and went hog hunting, and we had gotten through. It was right at daylight when we got through, and we all agreed we were hungry. So we decided we would, when we got back to the truck, we were going to go into town and eat. Well, anyway, Joe got this hog up on his back, and he carried this hog out, and we finally got back to the truck, threw him in the truck, and we just decided we'd go on into town and get us a bite to eat before we headed to the house. So we did. We pulled into this little restaurant, a little cafe there, and going to get us some breakfast. And we were sitting there, and Joe had his back to this table that was right behind us, and all of a sudden this woman said something about lice. When she did, she got up, and they went across, and well, finally they just left. Well, evidently Joe, when he was carrying that hog out, got these hog lice all over him. Well, they don't stay on you, but they get on your clothes, and you can feel them crawling on you, and you still hate them. But anyway, he had them all over the back of his shirt, and next thing you knew, we were in the cafe by ourselves. Everybody got out of there because it was like, oh no, these guys have got lice on them. Well, we did. We went ahead and ate breakfast, and then we got out of there. Joe was embarrassed like crazy, but he walked outside, if I remember right, and tried to brush his shirt off, or he took his shirt off and shook him off or something. But anyway, I just thought I'd tell you about that. It was kind of an embarrassing time for Joe. And then I was going to tell you another little deal that happened down there. Like I say, we went down there and hog hunted quite a bit. It was like a 7-hour drive for me to get down there. And so anyway, by the time you got there, I'd get off work, and we would get down there maybe midnight or something like that. So anyway, this is kind of off of the hunting thing, but we had went hunting all night long and caught some hogs, and then we decided we would go shrimping the next morning after it was daylight. And Kenny had a boat that was like 25 foot long, and he had it rigged up to where he could pull a shrimp net out in the bay. And I had never in my life went shrimping or didn't know anything about it, and Kenny kind of laughed at me. I said, well, don't you get your net hung up on logs and stuff? He said, no, there's nothing out in here. But anyway, we got out there after an all night hunt. We get out there and we started shrimping. And if you've never went shrimping, now I don't know if this is the way commercial people do it or just exactly what, but we get out there and we start dragging this net, and after so long he would pull it up, and we'd pull it up into the boat and dump that net out, and there was shrimp, there was crabs, there was a little bitty tiny catfish these little, I think he called them gaff tops. They were about that long, and they would stick you with them little fins. And also, a shrimp will stick you. He's got a horn. And I found out the hard way that they'll get you too. And also the slime off of these silly shrimp and off these nets, when you get in, you'll never get it out of your clothes. Just throw them away because you can't get it out. But anyway, I was just going to tell you that little story, and just like, oh, it was terrible. But we caught a lot of shrimp. We brought a lot of shrimp back, and even sold some of them. We had that many. We sold some to friends of ours when we got back in town. I was going to tell you another one about what happened. It seems like I always seem that things happen to me instead of everybody else. But this one particular night, we're out hog hunting, and there was like 3 of us, and we had caught a pig way back on the other side of this ranch. Now, we hunted at night, and now back then we didn't have these headlights and stuff like that we've got now. We just had a regular old flashlight that you carried in your hand, and you walking along, and that's what you found your way with. Well, anyway, this one particular night, we're going along, and every time you'd come up on a big slough of water, there was water moccasins. Not water snakes, but I mean cottonmouth water moccasins all in these things. And man, we were walking through there. You just had to avoid walking in and around those things because they were terrible. Well, anyway, we get back over on the far side of the ranch, and we catch this pig, and we stuck him and gutted him, and about that time, Diablo, our old strike dog, he's already got another one bait up somewhere way back over here. So Kenny and Michael or Butch, I can't remember who all was with us, but I said, well, I'll carry this one back. And there was a picnic table that was under a big street light out on this ranch. And that was one way that we could find out where we were, is we could look back and see that light that was over that picnic table, and that was the way we found our way back. So I said, well, I'll just meet y'all at the picnic table, and y'all go and get that other hog. So I lit out, and I started carrying that pig. It wasn't but about 75 pounds or so. It wasn't really bad carrying it. But anyway, the way you carry those pigs is you grab one ear and you grab the tail. You throw them up on your shoulders. Well, I would carry my flashlight on the side that I had the tail with. Usually I had more room with my hand with the tail. So anyway, I'm walking along there, and I'm watching that light keeping going in that direction, because that was where I was going to meet them. So anyway, I'm going along there, and about that time, my light just went off. No light. And I mean, it is pitch black out there. I said, oh my word. I kept shaking my light and shaking it, and I even balanced that hog and took it apart and see if I could fix it. Well, it went out. It was the bulb. It burned out. But anyway, I thought, well, I'll just keep walking straight towards the light, and that's where I got to meet up with them. So I'm walking along there, and I'm carrying this pig, and I'm just steady walking, and all of a sudden, I just started falling. I had walked off the edge of one of these old sloughs, and it was about 5 foot to the water, and I mean, I hit in that mud and slop, and I mean buried up in that thing. And that hog, my head was up in the hog's chest, and I'm scrambling trying to get out of there, because all I could think about was all them water moccasins we've been seeing in these sloughs. And I come out on the other side, and with that hog, I mean, I had that hog on me, and I come out on the other side, and if I fell on a snake, they got out of the way, or I buried them up or something. But anyway, I was a mess. All of that mud and slop on me. I stunk. Had a hog all over me and blood. Anyway, I was the laughingstock for the night about me and that slough. Well, anyway, a couple of weeks or so later, I get a call from Kenny. And he said, well, I can't ever laugh at you again on falling into that slough. He said, my light went out, and he said, I think I found the same slough. He said he was carrying the pig out the same way, and fell, and he said he thinks it's the same one that I fell in. But anyway, I was just going to tell you about that little adventure. It was fun, but it was sure scary. I'll catch you next time.